All right. Good evening, ladies, and welcome to the second session of the second day. So excited, as always, for you to be here, for you to learn new information, and for you to implement it. As I've been saying throughout the week already, don't just take the information and write it down, work on a plan to implement. So, if you can, write in the comments a great nugget, something that you pulled out that was very informative to you that you're going to take action on. Go ahead and write that in the comments. We want to see that what we're teaching you guys, you're actually going to take it and you're going to do something about it. So, this session, we are actually going to talk about multiple streams of income. I am a firm believer in having multiple streams of income coming in. And I have my lovely bestie, Tiffany here. She has multiple streams of income, just like I have multiple streams of income. And I brought her in to be able to talk to you about her multiple streams. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to her for her to be able to introduce herself, let you guys know a little bit about her.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Maria, for having me. I am so excited just to share my journey with you guys, and I'm trying to give you some tips on how to get your business started or that idea that you thought you wanted to put on the back burner. I am a mother, a wife, and a serial entrepreneur. And what that means is that I do have multiple businesses and multiple streams of income. And the good thing about that is that some make money in my sleep and some that I have to be physically there. But to each his own, I never am without. Okay. So, uh, so that's the good thing about having multiple streams of income. And most importantly, I free my time. Having business is not always about making money. Yes, it's one of the key factors, but I also enjoy my time. I get to manage it. I get to manage it. I get to do what I want to do. And having children and a husband, you have to be able to manage and do a lot of things and wear a lot of hats. So let's talk about multiple businesses. I could tell you the ones that I have. And Maria, if you have any questions or anything that I left out, just let me know.
No, that was good. That's you.
I've been in real estate for 9 years, and my background came from mortgages. And so I've been doing real estate. When the market had crashed, I jumped right into it, thinking that, of course, the market will turn itself around, which it did. By doing real estate, I was able to do a lot of networking, and that's one key thing that you want to do is network, 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 because it can open up many doors for you, and you meet different people that, like Maria, that can help you exceed in your business venture. And so real estate have gave me an avenue where I'm able to open up different businesses because I've met the right person. I asked the right questions, and they guided me to that business. And so real estate is one of my big money makers, and that led me to do childcare. So I do have a group childcare center here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We've been open for 5 years, and so
5 years already?
5 years already. Yes.
Wow. I opened. Wow.
So that's a big money maker for me as well. And when I do businesses, and Maria can contest to this too, is that some businesses I do because I'm interested and I might have a passion for. I always try to think, how can a business help the business that I'm currently in? So I've been doing childcare for 5 years, and what I noticed in the childcare field, there was a need of um, resources and help for the women that was coming into my childcare center. And through that business, I birthed another business, which is a prenatal agency coordination agency, and that helps mothers who are pregnant or who have recently gave birth, to provide them with resources. So as you can see, one business was a focus for one thing, but it birthed another one that can go hand in hand. So, how I was able to leverage that is that when I meet with these mothers, I meet with them at my center so that they can see our child care center. We do a lot of events there, and in the in the midst of it, they're able to feel comfortable with me. They're in a safe place already. And so now we're providing them resources, whether it be childcare, whether it be uh, therapy or transportation, anything that they need. They are now in a safe environment that they feel that maybe once I have that child, I can
Mhm.
enroll them. Oh,
Mhm.
now it kind of goes hand in hand. Now I may have a potential client to enroll in my child care center. So again, when you're thinking of different businesses, it don't always have to be something totally opposite. It can be something that can
Work.
complement the
Yeah.
business that you currently have.
And that's a good point that you say, because I teach a lot. So there's two great ways to go about multiple streams of income, where you can have one business and you can create different streams from that one business. Whether, let's say it's fitness, you can go and create recipes to sell recipes, maybe add in meal planning and sell meals, maybe an ebook to tell them like how to work out, video stream, whatever. That's having one business and multiple streams about around that one business. That's one way you can do multiple streams of income. The other way, like Tiffany, and these are the easy ways, right? Instead of the working harder and not smarter. The other way, what Tiffany does, and which I do as well, is having different businesses that serve your target population. So where her population is mom with kids, where she has her childcare center, that's the mom with the kids. And then the mom also need help with the prenatal care coordination. That's the same mom. She did not mention, and she probably doesn't do it as much, she also has a party business, which her kids have taken advantage of, and they work in the party business. Again, her parents, they have kids, they want to do parties. They do transportation sometime. Again, mom with kids might need help with transportation. And then even with the real estate, which it might not look like it fit, but it does, because that mom, kid, that family, they want to buy a house.
Or need housing. You
Exactly. So she has an audience that she serviced them in different ways by creating different businesses around what their needs are. So she finds the need. She saw that she had these parents in her childcare that were struggling with XYZ, and created a business to be able to help them with that. And then that's another stream of income. So now, question for you, Tiffany, when you transitioned, or not even transitioned because you still do real estate now, when you added on childcare from doing real estate, what was that transition like, and what actually made you jump out to add on childcare?
Well, first, childcare has always been a dream of mine, me and my mother. And so I was always in the background.
Which her mom works in the childcare facility with her.
So that always was in the back of my mind. And I was always trying to pull resources to find out how I'm able to open it. So when I got the opportunity to have my own building, I did slow up and took a pause for real estate. Now you got to think about it. When you think about different businesses that you're going to get into, certain things you can do and you can hold on to it and it's not going to go away. Real estate is, when you get your real estate license, you have something that you can always go back to. So whether I pause today, 6 months, or a year from now, I can always go back to real estate because that is something that I can have forever. Okay.
Mhm.
And so I took a pause and then I focused on childcare. And the reason why I say sometimes you have to pause and you have to focus on one business at a time. Once it gets up and running, then you can return and try to restructure how you want to fit everything in. But the reason why I took a pause is because what I've learned is every business that you want to go to, someone wants to make sure that you are expert at that particular business. When
Exactly.
we talk about multiple streams of income, it doesn't mean you have to have 7 or 8 businesses. It's just different streams of income, and some may come from 1 or 2 businesses, and then you have some other businesses that you can make money in your sleep, which we will talk about later on. So I took a pause and I just focused in on childcare. I made sure I had to take all the appropriate classes. I made sure that my building was up to code. I made sure that I got the right people in the business that can help me and bring my vision to the front. And so when you're talking about building a team, people think about, oh, it's just my employees. It's really not your employees. It's you have your personal banker, somebody that you can talk to about what type of funds that you need to pull out to put into that business. Once your business started to go further along, you may need a tax accountant. You might need an accountant or bookkeeper.
Mhm.
That's what building a team is.
Right.
People a lot in business forget about that part and just think about employees, and
Right.
that's not really. Uh,
Right. And I can even tell you with having my CPA, again, I used to help with taxes. So I knew taxes, but then I got a CPA. And when I did Pretty Princess and we end up getting inventory, that was a whole nother ballpark where thank God I had a CPA that know how to do inventory and she helped with inventory. And then also with my CPA, we were looking at my profit, my P&L, which is profit and loss statements. And it was like, okay, balancing out the books and like, okay, well, if your profit is not where you want it to be, maybe you have a pricing issue. So maybe you have to go back and look at your prices and how did you come up with your prices? Did it just feel good or did you research? So having that team to where, again, we're the creators, we're the people with the passion and the vision and want to make it happen. But a lot of times, all the time, you need a team to be able to help you bring that vision to what is it to fruition to make sure that it's successful. And I loved how, like, when you said, Tiffany, where taking a pause, or like if you have one business and you put it to the side, it can be running without you at that point, right? But one business at a time, to where, because you have to put a lot of focus in on growing a business. If you're trying to grow two businesses at one time, you're not giving, not one business is getting 100% of you. So then you're slowing down your efforts of when you could have had that business, a six-figure business, or even to $1 million. It's going to take you longer to get there because your mind is split in half and you're trying to grow both at the same time. So that's a good point where I talk all the time and I talk about the book, The One Thing. And I remember my pastor gave that to me years ago and I'm looking at, I don't want to read this book because I had all these things going on. I had the real estate, I had the PNCC, I had Pretty Princess, I had credit repair, I had all these different things, and you will burn out. You will burn out trying to do it all. And I had to let a lot of stuff go. It's okay for me not to be the person to help somebody find a house. Now with real estate, because I am a realtor, I can do referrals. I don't have to be the person to do the transaction. I can say, hey, you know what? I'm too busy, but I know somebody. Here go X, this person here. She can help you. And then I can get a referral fee.
and that is another stream of income.
Another stream
And
of income.
so, and you're correct, Maria. You can pull other streams from different businesses that you have. So when I got my childcare center up and running and it was running smoothly where I didn't have to be back there every day, now I'm able to go back and dip into real estate. And then I start getting,
She just became a broker.
and so then I start thinking like, okay, I need to work smarter, not harder. So I know I don't have time to show people 10 houses a day. I know I still need to be present at my child care center. So how can I still make money in real estate and still be viable in this industry? So what I end up doing is having a real estate team. And when they sell something, I get a percentage of it. And so that was making money in my sleep. And I can tell you, just to give you an example, I think one year I might have sold 2 homes, but my team carried enough where I was able to cover one person's salary for the month.
Yes. Yes.
So, and when I got my statement, I'm like, whoa, did I make that much now? And now I gotta look and see what can I write off because I didn't know.
Exactly.
But you were able to build one business up, then you were able to go back and pick the other business that you have had forever. And then you're able to think about creative ways of how to make money while you're not doing as much as you have done in the past for it. So
Mhm.
again, that's multiple streams of income based off of one of your business that you pulled out. And
Mhm.
so yeah, I'm truly thankful for that. And even when the pandemic hit,
Oof.
it was crazy. We closed the center down for maybe a week when COVID hit, just to figure out what it was, and then we were able to come back in. But to be honest, truly honest with you, our numbers just started increasing um back from the pandemic. I would say about 2 months ago. We stayed steady, but it wasn't like we did before, because you had parents that had to take off a lot because we were sending kids home if we
Mhm.
seen any
A
indication
sniffle.
of it.
No,
But
you gotta go. A sniffle, you gotta go.
well, while childcare might have been down, real estate was at the
Ooh,
all-time high. So
yeah.
we made a lot of money. Like they say, well, how your business doing? Which one? Because one,
Right.
my phone's now stopped ringing, and the
Yeah.
other, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
So, the benefit of having multiple streams of income, especially in the time that we were in now, when one is slow, you always have another one that may be able to pick up that slack and hold you down until things smoothed over. And so, that was one of the big things that happened with
Right.
having multiple streams of income through
Yeah.
the pandemic.
And I can tell my example from the pandemic with even with the two businesses that I had, or two of them, I should say, where Pretty Princess, right? Do kid birthday parties. Well, and what's crazy is February of 2020, I had just got me a pretty little building for me to be able to do birthday parties. So people, instead of, because we used to travel, and that was like, bad on our backs, and like that was a lot to go pack it up, go set up, take it down. That was a lot, right? So we got a place, and we had a big event, and it sold out. We sold out VIP tickets, and it was a troll party, and we were like, yes. We wrote down the events for the rest of the year, like we about to do this. And then March rolled around, and the world just shut down. It's like, okay, but did the bills shut down? No, they did
No.
not. No, they did not. So we still had to pay the rent there, and thank God it was a flexible space, so the rent was not as bad. But when our physical location shut down, to where I don't think we really started doing parties again towards the end of the year, and that's still, like you said, that still was slow because people still were like, where our online store, we had an online store on Etsy, and we were selling party supplies. That store tripled in revenue. Why? Because people were not going places to have birthday parties. They were doing parties in their house. So they need party supplies. So one well dries, there was another one, and that one triple in income. And I'm looking at it like, we gotta order, we gotta order, we gotta order. I had to hire my kids back because like I need help with these orders. And so that was Pretty Princess. And then with, let's say, Boss Lady, that was creating different courses. And at that time, I was creating courses, and I created ebooks to be able to sell online. And that's truly passive income when you have a product that you record or that you make one time, and you put it on your website, and that sells over and over and over and over again. That's where that passive income comes in, to where I mean, somebody can ask me a question, I can answer a question, but once you buy like my Tax 101 book, it just, it's so I don't have to do anything. I can have 5 orders while I'm sleeping. So having the multiple streams of income is essential when we don't know what, like they talk now with inflation and prices going higher and gas going higher and things like that. What happens if your job has to let you go? What's the backup plan? So creating multiple streams of income, even when you have a 9 to 5, because you can be like vice president or executive, whatever, and tomorrow unemployed because the company shut down because of whatever. Did you have multiple streams of income that you can go and say, oh, well, I'm glad I got this, or I'm glad I got this. So it's really essential, especially if we have huge goals financially. You want to get to 6 figures, or you want to get to a million or whatever. Multiple streams of income is vital.
Yeah.
It is
And
vital.
and during the pandemic, when we did shut down, we were able to think about other things that we wanted to do to generate income. And so while I sat out for that week and I was at home, I started researching how to get an ATM machine, and it just
Mhm.
made sense to me because I'm like, man, I can make money and I shouldn't be able to have to do a lot. What can I do? And so I only need a little bit of information to figure things out. And so I was able to get my first ATM machine and literally make money in my sleep because the dollars that I put in is just revolving. It's not coming, if I put in 500, I'm going to get 500 plus back. And
Yeah.
so that was another stream of income where it's a business, but I don't have to be physically there. My dollar is rotated and I'm making money in my sleep. So that downtime was able to allow me to think of other ways that I can generate income without having to work a physical business or a job as a 9 to 5, because a lot of people were still working their 9 to 5 and still building a business, which is fine because you have to have something to support
Yeah.
that business for your startup.
Because let me tell you this again, being an entrepreneur is expensive. It is
It is expensive.
expensive. It is not that it's a bad thing expensive, but you don't jump out and you don't have a savings or you don't have a cushion, because you're gonna run into bills that you had no idea that even existed. Let's say I know people who have like a retail brand where they like have an online boutique and they want to go open a store. Well, there's a license involved in that. You have to pay for that license yearly. Well, I guess it depends on what state you're in, but here in Georgia, that's a yearly license. You have to monthly file sales tax. And if you don't file that on time, there's a huge fee involved in filing that monthly. So they're like, when you jump out and become this 100% entrepreneur, just know that there's a lot that comes with that. And you have to have your research done to what does this entail. So like Tiffany said, during the pandemic, she took the time to research ATM. Now, she didn't just get the idea and say, okay, well, let me go buy it tomorrow. She researched it, how to do it, how to make sure it's profitable, so that, we have to be smart about our decisions and not work hard so smarter, not harder. So she went and did the research first to be able to accomplish having that passive income. And you brought up, passive income and the multiple streams, and like when your team made the money and you didn't have to do much, and you brought up taxes. I'm gonna just really side note that real quick. Now, because I talk a lot about passive income, right? So when you create this passive income and you don't have to do much for it, you just come to your pocket and you're like, ooh, money. Guess what? You have to pay taxes on that. And sometimes it's very hard to find deductions that come with the passive income that did not require, I didn't pay any bills for it. I got the money. So, that's something to consider too. If you make it to that six figures and you don't have a lot of deductions because a lot of it was passive, you need a plan. You need a financial advisor. You need a CPA that's going to be able to help you find where can you use this, or where can you put this money? Where can you store it? Because let's be real, the rich people store it, right? And tomorrow I'm going to be talking with somebody about some wealth strategy, and we're going to learn about whole life insurance and universal life insurance and how to put the money in there to store it so that you don't have to pay taxes on it, and then it be there for your future when you need it. So
And you have one. And
yeah,
my children do too. And
yeah,
that's a great, I can't wait to hear more about it because that's another way of creating wealth
yes,
for your family. And so you're right. And that's part of building your team that we talked about in the beginning, having the right people in your circle that you're able to talk to once you hit that certain tax bracket. And I think, Maria, we were talking earlier, is a lot of times in our businesses, we bumped our head because of what we just didn't know or it came up. And so the more money you make, the more money the IRS will take. And they're going to want to see what they can get. And
exactly.
so instead of, I had to learn the hard way. I thought I was doing something correctly with having a tax person, but you got to research and make sure that they know how to correctly tax the business that you're in. So for
Mhm.
instance, just to give you an example, my child care tax person may be good but may not be good with real estate.
Yeah.
You got to think about those things. They may be
And
more.
they also charge based on different businesses. Not another, but that is one of those downsides to having multiple businesses, not even just multiple streams, multiple businesses, because you then go get a CPA and they're going to charge you for this business. And like, for example, Pretty Princess, inventory, P&L, running my numbers and stuff like that. That's one
Yes, the
business.
charge. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then you had Infinity, which Boss Lady is actually under Infinity, but that's a whole nother business and that's a whole nother charge. So having multiple businesses is great until you get to those fees where it's different people for different businesses and they all charging you to be able to do the work. So again, while we say focus on one building or business, build that to where you're good, and then create that other business to where if this business is costing money and it's not really bringing in that profit yet, you got some reserve somewhere to be able to fund that. So, yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. So, Tiffany, so I am actually working with Tiffany right now to help her create a course for you guys because she has a wealth of information. One being, how do we get into this ATM game, right? So I am creating or helping her create the course for that, which is going to be passive income from her because once she created, she's going to sell it over and over again, and you might hold Q&A sometimes or whatever, but it's something that she's not going to have to think about. So if they want to, or are you ready for that yet, or it's still on standby?
Oh no, I have information, and also
Okay, so how can they reach you and get, if they want to get into this ATM world with passive income, how can they get more information?
yes, so you can reach me at 414-460-7925. You can also email me at tiffany.griffin@live.com. If you get an ATM, it doesn't matter which state you're in. They have ATMs. They can distribute ATMs in all 50 states. Also, I just want to let people know too, especially the women out there, don't be afraid to get into businesses that we're not dominated in. Another business that I have that is kind of just sitting in my back pocket until I'm ready to pull it out and go full fledged, but it serves a purpose. Trust me, it serves a purpose. Is that I have my auction license where I can go purchase vehicles, and me just having that license, if I go sell one vehicle, I'm going to make that money back. So it's something that women are not dominant in, but if you do your research and see if that's something that is of interest of you, and you can see that you can get some stream of income from it and you don't have to do a lot, that may be something that you guys may be interested in too. And again, you're able to purchase vehicles in all 50 states, wherever they have an auction. So if you are interested in learning, both men and women, but I'm just saying, a lot of times we are in industries that we are not predominantly in, but that doesn't mean we can't step in and make our mark. So if anybody's interested in learning anything about childcare, real estate, ATM business, and the auction, please feel free to reach out to me at 414-460-7925. And my email, tiffany.griffin@life.com. You can text me, and if you text me, just put what you're interested in. And if you email me, just email me what you're interested in, and then we can get on a call, a consultation, and see how I can help you.
That is awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming and speaking to the ladies. Because again, we just want to make sure you guys know this stuff and know that there are, you have to decide and think about all these things that come into play when you're ready to jump into entrepreneurship. 100%. It's just not a piece of cake. It is, some.
But it's worth it.
It is definitely worth it.
Don't be afraid to step out on faith and know that you are able to make it, and you have women in your life like Maria that are able to put out resources and information and networking where we're able to assist you to step out of your comfort zone and actually pursue something that you have always thought about.
Yeah. So, with that being said, you guys, some of you know, but some of you might not know, I do have a mentorship that is out, and I actually have 6 spots left for the mentorship. And I've actually been doing the 101s already and like really helping the ladies to, set the foundation so that they can scale their business and get it to 6 figures. I'm going to be talking more about that this evening on the Did You Know? So make sure that you come live to the Did You Know for business edition for tonight. And I'm going to give you more information on how you can work with me and my mentor friends and how we can help you guys take your business, your idea, and get it to 6 figures and also get government contracts that's going to help you bring in millions. So again, thank you so much, Tiffany, for coming on, and we will see you guys in the next session. Bye.
Bye.